Raw review for the April 21st episode of Raw. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling, huh?
First Raw after Mania. The Raw after Mania always has that reputation. You got some returns, you got some debuts, you got some shocking stuff out of WrestleMania. This one did not disappoint.
Absolutely not. Before we get started, I want to say thank you all for stopping by the live stream. Let's make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Let's try to grow this community, but let's get after this, shall we? It starts with the man who left people thinking, we'll put it that way, after WrestleMania's Night 2 main event, John Cena, 17-time world champion. And he comes out to the no lights experience again. He comes out to where his Tron is just white letters on a black background. He did get some pyro when he got in the ring. He held the title up. Side plate says 17 on it. He got all that good stuff going.
Yeah, the one's a salute.
One's a salute, so all that good stuff. But anyway, he calls over the announcer, the ring announcer, and hands him a note, because the ring announcer, of course, on the way into the ring said, "Welcome your world champion, John Cena." But John Cena didn't like that. He handed him a piece of paper, and the announcer goes, "Well, my announcement was deemed disrespectful, so please welcome the greatest of all time, the never seen 17, the last real champion, John Cena." And this entire time, John Cena is standing directly in front of the announcer where you can't see him. Dude does all the little stuff that makes heel work great. But he went on something here. He said, "Winners write history. You all are not worthy. You cheer, so I'm supposed to forgive you." So he's playing in to the fact that at WrestleMania, the crowd went against Cody. They cheered the hell out of John Cena during that. And he says, "That's not how a relationship works. Just because you're happy doesn't mean I can't tell you to go to hell." And he says, I want you to apologize to me. You should apologize to me. You want to control the noise all the time, right? Raw is the place that the crowd controls the noise. And immediately the crowd starts chanting, "We are sorry." Over and over and over again. "We are sorry." And John makes a joke out of this, kind of, because he turns to the crowd or TV and he goes, "For all of you at home, that's 'we aren't sorry." And the crowd goes, "Boo." He goes, "You are sorry." And here's the best part. "All this is happening and you mean nothing to me. For 25 years, you called me all these horrible things. So why on the earth would Vegas right now be the time where you crack me? You are not cracking me. Your noise means nothing. The only thing that means anything is 36 dates." And that pops up on the Tron, 36. And he says, "That's how many dates I had when I said I was signing up for my farewell tour. But let's look at all the time you already wasted." And he goes one by one through every city, every appearance that he's already made. And it goes down to 27. There are 27 left. Appearances, not matches. I said I didn't even have to wrestle to keep this championship. Getting it was the hard part. Now I don't even have to wrestle anymore. He says, "My goal is to make the pro wrestling timeline stop cold. This title held by some of the greats comes home with me. I am the last real champion." And the crowd starts to boo him. And he holds up the title. And behind him, you see a slithering little viper, Randy Orton. Out of nowhere, RKO's John Cena square center in the ring. He picks up the title. He poses with it, does his little thing that he does at the top of the rope. And that is that. John Cena wants to ruin wrestling. He plans to stop the pro wrestling timeline. But Randy Orton looks to be the next challenger on the road to Cena's farewell tour championship, whatever he's trying to do. And I cannot wait. Pop.
I was going to say, you got to pop this one.
I'm excited as hell.
It's got to be a pop. Yeah, so you look at the promo work again, and we talked a little bit about it. Cena is, maybe the most polarizing ever. The people that used to boo Cena are now cheering Cena. The people who used to cheer Cena are now booing Cena. A lot of back and forth. Like, this is what he wants. A lot of people are like, "Well, I don't care. This still sucks." And so a lot of dialogue, a lot of reasons to tune in that you got to watch. And John, it was, just perfect stuff, right? You're going to have to watch. And then you get Randy Orton. This is something we all thought, like, this obviously has to happen. Okay, sign me up. St. Louis, Backlash. You got to face Randy Orton versus heel John Cena. I mean, that place is going to erupt. That place is going to be over the top cheering Randy Orton. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it, like a little bit of booing Cena, but then cheering Cena, and you got the little bit of back and forth. I have no doubt in my mind when Cena walks in there, St. Louis at Backlash, Randy Orton is going to be cheered. Cena is going to be booed. Something I never thought we'd see, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. I feel like most wrestling fans after night 2 were kind of like, I don't know how to feel about the rest of this John Cena stuff going forward. Like, I don't know what they're going to do to win me back. And the second I saw Randy Orton pop up, I was like, yep, you bought me. I'm back in. I'm back in. Call me a sucker. I don't care. He RKO's John Cena middle of the ring, and I'm like, St. Louis, heel John Cena versus face Randy Orton for the WWE Championship in the year 2025. Yep. I'm a sucker, dude. I'm the cheap guy that's easy to buy. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be fantastic. Just looking forward to it, basically.
Yeah.
Not much more to say.
Some people might say, oh, this is predictable. Oh, I saw this coming. I don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
I don't care. Sign me up.
Give me it.
Yeah.
Women's Tag Team Championship match. Yes, last night, or I guess 2 nights ago at this point, Liv and Raquel lost to a returning Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. And we're getting the rematch right away the next night.
Yep. But Liv didn't get a rematch for her world title.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Liv wouldn't wait. So when Becky re-debuted or made a return at WrestleMania, Liv was all in her head. She was scared of Becky. She even ran from Becky during the match. That is an opposite side of Liv tonight. She wasn't scared of Becky. She started the match and she went right after Becky. Before the match, the bell even rang. She attacked Becky right away here. So she's absolutely not scared. Eventually, though, Becky and Lyra would get the advantage, and they would do their double baseball slide drop kick to the outside of the ring on Liv and Raquel. They were doing all that stuff. But after commercial break, heels were being heels on Lyra, and Lyra, during all these tag team matches, takes all the bumps. She was getting worked over big time here until Becky got the hat tag, got a Bexploder in on Liv. We would get a bunch of stuff going on. There was a point where Becky, Lyra, and Raquel were on the top rope, and Liv came over and powerbombed Becky, and then Raquel picked Lyra up on the top rope and did a sit-down powerbomb from the top rope. Only got a 1-2 out of it, but it was absolutely great. Eventually, though, Lyra would get the Nightwing onto Raquel. Liv would put her foot on the rope. Becky would attack Liv on the outside. All hell was kind of breaking loose here. You never saw it. I never saw it. I wasn't paying attention enough, but you didn't think that Raquel and Liv got the tag off, but somehow Liv becomes the legal woman.
Yeah, she does not get tagged. She boots Lyra, and she goes for the pin, and she gets the 2 count, and then all the chaos breaks, and then Liv, they switch spots.
Yeah.
Fine with me, you know.
It was chaotic. There was a lot of stuff going on, but it ends up being Raquel taking out Becky on the outside of the ring. Lyra's looking over, kind of like, what's going on? She turns around directly into an oblivion from Liv. 1, 2, 3. Liv and Raquel get their titles back, but it ain't over yet. Becky Lynch, she returned Sunday night. It's now Monday night. She gets up. She ain't very happy, but she's like, you know what? It's okay. She stands Lyra up, gives her a hug, and then clotheslines her. Becky Lynch heel turn commences. She gets 3 manhandle slams. So a bunch happens here. She walks away pissed off. Lyra's looking dead. Lyra was like scared of Becky the entire time. She like wouldn't lay a finger on her. It was pretty crazy. But Liv and Raquel get their title backs. One day they're back to being tag team champions. But the story from this match, more importantly, is Becky Lynch does turn heel on Lyra Valkyria, maybe looking like we're going toward a Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria IC title match feud here. This is what I wanted at WrestleMania, so I'm happy. Pop.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. It was kind of crazy when you see the rematch is just the next night, and you're like, oh, well, something's going to happen here. Yeah. Here we go. I would sit there and you could maybe say like, oh, Becky Lynch should have just done this at WrestleMania. I mean, I'm going to say that moment was fun. That was awesome. Lyra gets to win it with Becky. Cool. You get the moment. Everybody feels good, right? And then you get it here. And I would say it's maybe a little bit more impactful here tonight. Like you could say, yeah, well, why not just do it at WrestleMania? Everybody was so caught up in Becky returning, plus everything else that happened at Mania. Like that's a lot of stuff that happened at WrestleMania. So it's like, okay, let's put it on Raw after Mania. I was happy with it. I'm excited. This is what everybody wants to see. Yep. So you can build this up here. The one concerning thing a little bit is how you said Lyra looked incredibly scared. I mean, that was kind of wild to me.
Chalk it up to like that was
It's
her
just
buddy.
shell shock.
That's her
Yeah,
buddy.
but
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
kind of just like she just stood there staring while she's getting destroyed. I'm like, oh,
She's the double champ.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I get it.
Not anymore. She's not.
I'm glad we got it here. I wish we would have got it at Mania, but whatever. I mean, Becky's return was, given a title and made that even a bigger moment. Happy that Liv and Raquel have the belts back and go into Judgment Day with that. And then I'm very happy that we finally seem to have some sort of top level feud for Lyra Valkyria in this IC title that desperately needs it. And now I'm going to kind of lean into the boat of like, this is a good opportunity to really make or break Lyra on the main roster. Kind of hopefully this turns into a better version of what Tiffany and Charlotte ended up being. Like, I hope Lyra steps up to the plate with Becky, unlike how Tiffany and Chelsea kind of worked out. So I'm looking forward to it. The IC title needs it. All good here.
Tiffany and Charlotte, not Tiffany and Chelsea.
Oh, my bad.
And I am, I'll have the same reservations I had about Tiffany and Charlotte. Same thing here. The promo work is going to be interesting to see how they do that. I think they could take some things they learned from Tiffany and Charlotte and apply it to where maybe it doesn't look so overmatched.
Yep, completely agree. New Day come out. Best part of the night here, right?
No, we'll get to that later, involving world champion.
Your new tag team title holders came out. They said, we are the new tag team. Scream out, thank God for the New Day win. The Alpha Babes show up with Maxine and Otis and Tozawa. And Maxine, she has the mic and she cuts it up, man. She does a really good job here. She basically says, you guys think that you're the best, but the last time you faced the Alpha Babes, they beat you really quickly. So how about you put your money where your mouth is, calling yourself the GOATs, and you fight them right now? And the New Day goes, no. And then Maxine goes, well, what are you, scared? And the New Day goes, well, no, we're not scared, so we'll fight you right now. Yeah. And we get in the ring to set up a match, and the lights go out. It's not the Wyatt Six. It's not war time.
It's not The Undertaker.
It's Rusev. Rusev's back, and he looks fantastic. It's Rusev Day, and he runs out, and he starts to beat up on Otis and Tozawa. Starts to destroy them. New Day's like, screw this. They get out of the ring, they run, so he's not there working with them or anything. Rusev just decided to kill this tag team. He looks really, really good, though. Destroys Otis a couple times. Rusev returns. We all knew it was coming, but he does it. He destroys Otis Tozawa and stares down the New Day while he's at it. I'm happy Rusev is back. It's always Rusev Day. We're popping it.
Yeah, absolutely popping this. Obviously, music change, so it's not technically Rusev Day, which kind of sucks. But you know what? He looks phenomenal. He looks great. I mean, he is in the best shape that he's probably ever been in. Somebody that strong and that size, you're like, how is this possible? How do you continue to get more chiseled? But he does. This was awesome. Alpha Babes taking the attack here. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's great.
We're excited to see him probably next week. Debut match.
Wasn't the greatest
return match.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest re-debut ever, but Rusev's back. I'm happy. Okay. That's simple. Judgment Day is all back celebrating because Liv and Raquel have their belts now, and Dom's cheersing, and Carlito's cheersing his apple. Finn walks in, and they're all like, uh-oh. And Liv gets in front of Dom before any issues occur, and she goes, it's a win for all of us, right? The belt's in the clubhouse. And Finn goes, puts a smile on his face, and he goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Dom, and I'll be right with you there tonight when you're facing Penta. So we look forward to that. Mm-hmm. When we would have the women's champion, Io Sky, come out, who was, I would say, was arguably the MVP of the weekend for the way she performed. It was absolutely phenomenal. But she says, last night was the best night of my career. I'm over the moon. She says, I beat the best, therefore I am the best. They will never forget me. I am the world champion. When Stephanie Vaquer's music hits, NXT champion Stephanie Vaquer, she comes out with a mic. She says, congratulations. Let me introduce myself. I'm NXT champ, La Primera, all this good stuff. She says, I want to show you respect. Guess what? You are the best, but I want to fight the best. And Io's like, I accept, and we'll do it right now. And Adam Pearce comes out, and he's like, Vegas, you want to see this? Well, I want to see it too, so let's do it right now. It's like, okay, Adam Pearce.
It's official.
It's official. Yeah. Ding, ding. And the first couple minutes of this match was just back and forth technical masterclass. I mean, they literally never miss a step, ever. It looks clean the entire time. They are two of the best in the world until Io eventually does get a suicide crossbody, but Steph would hop up onto the barricade on the outside and give her a crossbody right back. This was all looking really good here. Steph would go to the top rope to do something, and Io would jump up there and do an arm drag off of it, and then hit her with a top rope missile drop kick. So she's looking great. Io would go for the over the moonsault at that point, but Steph was like, nah, threw her into the corner, did the Meteora, did the Booker T move that everybody loves, all that good stuff. They trade German suplexes. Io hits a top rope Spanish fly when Roxanne Perez shows up, and Julia. They both show up.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxanne takes out Io Sky right away. Julia gets in the ring, looks at Roxanne and goes, nah, I'll go beat up Steph. So she takes out Steph. Roxanne takes out Io when this is my brutality. I'll come on. The title holder's in the picture here, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't think Rhea was going to miss out on a situation like that, did you? She runs out. She headbutts Roxanne. Roxanne gets to the outside of the ring. Julia looks at her face to face and goes, nah, not today. She kind of bails. Rhea walks over, grabs the title, hands it to Io. But before Io can take it away, she does kind of hold on to the belt, look at her, and she says, I'm coming for that at some point. And that was that. So this was great. We got a lot here. We got Stephanie Vaquer. We got Julia, Roxanne, a great match with Io Sky. We do have Rhea still inserted into this title scene, but the women's title picture overall looks to be a focal point of Raw going forward. I'm popping it.
Yeah, as it should be. I'm going to pop this as well, especially if Julia and Roxanne come up to the main roster, which is kind of like maybe this is like a little introduction for everybody. The match was great. We knew we weren't getting anything because you're not going to have one of your champions pin your other champion. We understand that. The interference stuff was cool. You got, like I said, you got to introduce maybe a newer audience or maybe some first-time watchers. Raw After Mania is always a big thing. Let's get these new, fresh faces out there for everybody to see. This was fantastic stuff. So I'm going to pop that. I do have to add a drop, though.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't even have to go any further. You already know what it is. They know what it is. It's all right.
Oh, you're not even going to say it?
No. Nope.
Say your drop.
Nope.
You got to stand by your drop.
No.
What's your drop?
It's got to be Rhea.
Okay.
It's got to be. I understand. She wasn't pinned in a triplet. I get that. For somebody, or I guess a lot of people, expecting the sentiment of, hey, crash out a little bit. Hey, do some soul searching. Hey, take some accountability. We don't do that here. So it is what it is.
I was just happy to see the people who were involved in this. Roxanne is great. Obviously, Julia was great. A Stephanie Vaquer match versus Io Sky on Raw After Mania. You're going to get the pops from me all day long on that, and they lived up to the hype. I can't wait for that to eventually finish down the road properly, hopefully at a big-time event. The Rhea stuff, does it bother me a little bit that she's still around the title scene? Yes, I don't think it makes any sense that, again, she just lost a title match the night before and she's already back around the title, but we don't know for sure if that's the route they're going, so I'm going to kind of keep my head up high on that one and hopes high that they have something else for her, and this is just kind of a handshake, hey, we're going to meet again type moment, but I loved every second of this, and hopefully these are the future pieces around that belt because we're good if that's it.
Yeah, and if they, like you said, it is maybe down the line, long ways down the line, maybe that hints to Io's long reign potentially. If that's the case, that's fine.
Yeah, agreed. Then Yeet Mania continues. Jay's celebration. We got ourselves a video package that would make a grown man cry, man. It had some Macklemore song playing to it. It was his entire journey from start to finish. They included a lot of the bloodline stuff, the best moments there. It was the best moments from Jay's career. He comes out yeeting. The entire arena's yeeting. He's got the belt. He looks good with the belt. He gets the encore. Hit my music again. Yeet. They start to go absolutely crazy. He says, the world heavyweight champion is now in your city. I'm here now. I waited for it forever. The road was tough. I gave everything to beat Gunther, and I made him tap. I'm going to show up every week, every day, put the work in. Yeet. When Sami Zayn shows up, no shenanigans here. He comes to the ring. He says, look, missing Mania was hard. Not being there on this hard road that you just went through was hard. But, man, I had to come here and say I'm proud of you and I love you. And then Jimmy comes out, and Jimmy gets the cheers with his Usos. And they're doing their little old freaking thing. What, is Usos not the word? I don't know. Anyway, it was...
Brothers is fine.
Well, those were, I guess, yeah. Anyway, his Usos, I'm going with it. But they did their old, bloodline dap up that they do. It was a big old Jay celebration. You will never catch me give a negative on this one. Popping it all the way. It was just great.
Yeah, golden pop I'm going to do on that one.
Yeah.
It's a feel-good moment. You got the pictures, too, from like baby Jey, high school Jey, college Jey, the youth athlete Jey. I mean, that was really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, the video package was really, really good. He comes out and everybody's chanting for him. This is what it's about here. You got it at Mania, but it really soaks in here. And he didn't seem out of place.
Nope.
Everything looked right here. It was getting to him, and I can understand why. And much deserved. So we just celebrate and enjoy it.
Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Love it. Yeet. AJ Styles is backstage. Says it's a hard pill to swallow his loss, but he's taking the L and moving on when Karrion Kross shows up, who, by the way, if you haven't seen it, Karrion Kross cut a amazing, borderline too real promo on an interview here at the end of WrestleMania weekend that you should go watch if you have not yet. But Karrion Kross says, you are the best. You're one of the most phenomenal people ever, and you lost, and that's what's wrong because you legitimized Logan Paul. And AJ Styles goes, yeah, I understand, but look, I wasn't going to use the knuckles. I'm not going back to that sort of AJ Styles. I don't like to be that person. You can go ahead and be angry at the world you want to, and if you're going to be angry at the world, you figure that out for yourself. And he walks away, and Karrion Kross with Scarlett goes, well, then maybe I will. Mm-hmm. So more to come on Karrion Kross.
Not much of a Knuckles guy, more of a Sonic guy.
Ah, Jesus. That was terrible.
Tails?
Shadow? Gunther is here, though, during the commercial break. We're getting A-Town Down Under War Raiders. They're talking, and then it just cuts away.
Yeah, Raw is always war.
Yeah, whatever.
A-Town Down Under wants a shot at the titles.
Gunther is here, and he's pissed off. He's right next to the announce table. He's pacing back and forth. The crowd's chanting, you tapped out, you tapped out. And he's going, I'm the best in the world. I'm the greatest in the world. I'm still the greatest in the world. Nothing's changed. And he puts the mic down, and we are now officially back from commercial break, and he's screaming at Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. And he ends up putting his hands on Michael Cole, and he shoves Pat McAfee back. He brings Michael Cole out like he's going to do something, and he puts him into a chokehold. And then Pat McAfee, of course, shows up. He gives Gunther a good punch to the side of the head, frees up Michael Cole. At this point, security's here. Adam Pearce is here. Everybody's here. And Gunther runs over and puts Pat McAfee in a sleeper hold for like 5 minutes. I mean, he just kills.
That is a very long chokehold.
Kills the man. Pat's head turning beet red.
He never tapped.
Never tapped. Stronger than Gunther. But eventually they pry Gunther off him. Adam Pearce gets a hold of Gunther, takes him to the back, and he's screaming at him the entire way down. Which this is all good up until this point. Gunther's pissed off, and he's taking out the announce table or the announce team who he's gone back and forth with in promos over the past month or so, right? But then we get like a solid 5-8 minutes of Pat McAfee slowly walking to the back. We get Adam Pearce talking to Michael Cole. Cole says, no, I'm not going to go home for the night. I want to do my job, even though the big mean bully tried to bully me. And then it just continues on and on. They never stop talking about it.
Is that commentary talking about it?
I get blurring the lines between stuff and making it feel real, but they would not stop talking about this.
And then they showed it again.
Yeah, they showed the whole thing again. It was a solid, I'm not like, it was 15 to 20 minutes of this stuff. Legitimately. And yeah, I mean, Gunther attacks the commentary team. Don't know what we're doing with Gunther. I don't know if he's going after Pat McAfee now, and that's kind of the way we're doing it, or if he's just being a big mean guy, and the commentary team is, the victim tonight. But it was a little bit too much for me. I'm dropping it.
Yeah, I'm dropping it. That's my analysis. They spent enough time. I don't need to spend any more time. They spent enough time on it.
It just, I agree. You know what? That's a good point. And it feels like we're overreacting, and it might be a good story that snowballs itself into, like, I think Wade Barrett could come back, and then if he attacks the announced team again, you do have a Wade Barrett Gunther stuff, which would be really cool to see. But they really beat a dead horse tonight with it. It was legitimately 20 minutes of time here. It was more time than like Cena got, and it might
have been more time than the main event segment.
It
might have been more time.
We spent too much time talking about it, so let's move it on. IC title match. Dirty Dom is facing Penta. Yeah, man's got to defend his title the day after.
Workhorse champion.
Workhorse champ, greatest IC title holder of all time. Finn and Carlito.
Take that honky tonky, man.
Yeah, Finn and Carlito are here as well. And Dom's cocky and confident. He walks right up to Penta. He's like, you know what? I'm the champ. I got you tonight, boy. And, he obviously pays for that. He gets destroyed for the beginning of this match, of course. But Dom eventually ties Penta's mask to the bottom rope and starts stomping a mud hole in him. It's really good there.
So still some heel tendencies, but everybody loves Dirty Dom.
Everybody loves him. Penta does do a Mexican destroyer, but Dom smartly rolls to the outside of the ring. Champion's advantage, right? And Penta, at this point, Finn does come over to console Dom. And Penta's on the apron. He runs over Hurricane Rana's Finn into Dirty Dom, who hits the the barricade. And Penta rolls him into the ring to start going to town, right? He wants to get the moment off. Penta pops up to the top rope when Carlito rolls over to the inside the ring on the opposite corner, distracting the ref. And when he distracts the ref and Penta's on the top rope, JD McDonough with a big old comeback. He pops up and he pushes Penta off the top rope. Dom kicks him into the 619 position, hits the 619, climbs to the top rope, 5-star frog splash, bada bing, bada boom, 1, 2, 3. Dirty Dom, the greatest intercontinental title run of all time, continues at 24 hours. I mean, it's just good stuff here. At the end of it, you have Liv and Raquel come out to join a celebrating Carlito, Finn, or not Finn, Dom and JD, and then a stinker Finn. He's being a stinker the whole time. He's kind of got the frown going, but Judgment Day is happy because Liv and Raquel have got their titles back. Dom gets his title back. It's one happy family, and then there's the stinker Finn who is on the way out, it looks like. So I'm popping the hell out of this.
Yeah, I'm going to pop at this as well. Everybody's one big happy family, and as much as we kind of trash the Judgment Day stuff at times, it's really cool to see them all have gold. It's really cool to have Carlito with the comedy gimmick. And you got JD coming back as well. Much deserved pop for him as well. Everybody knows, obviously, what he went through. And then you got Finn on the outside looking in. And everybody's like, why can't you just be happy, Finn? This is good stuff. And Penta here, it's Penta. So he'll come back next week. He'll have a banger. He'll have some cool pyro.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Dom continues the greatest intercontinental title run in the history of the business. It's that simple. 24 strong hours here and counting. Liv and Raquel rightfully get their titles back. This is exactly what we want to see for Judgment Day. It's so cool to see like what 1 year does, because at this time last year, Judgment Day was getting booed out of their mind while Damian Priest was on his way out, right? And now you have all of them seemingly kind of getting cheered. The crowd was absolutely loving it. So we got one big happy family, and then like, what are we going to do with Finn? Are they going to talk him into being one big happy family, or is he going to cause a breakup? That's the fun story ahead, and I can't wait for it. I'm here for the Judgment Day, and I'm happy that everybody's happy. Dirty Dom, baby.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see the heel faction slowly become the face faction. Yeah. Like you said, Liv and Dom, everybody loves them. Everybody loves Raquel. Everybody loves Carlito's humor. JD, obviously, fan favorite now at this point. And I mean, it is crazy when you do the outside look. You're like, man, I'm proud of these people.
Proud. Get them some titles and tendies, man.
Also, at this point, they wanted to mention Gunther attacked the announce team.
They mentioned it again and again and again. Shut up, Michael Cole. I love you, though. Seth Rollins is coming out with Paul Heyman. Big twist that happened at Mania Night 1, and they entered the ring together, and Seth does the Roman. He reaches for the mic, and Paul presents said mic, so he's stealing all of his moves, bar for bar. Stole his wise man and everything. And Seth does his intro, and then he goes, I took a wise man from Roman Reigns. I stole a best friend from CM Punk, and I am the winner of the main event of WrestleMania. I am CM Punk's music hits. And logically, you would think that Punk's too pissed to talk, and Punk was too pissed to talk. He storms to the ring. They start to throw hands, and they're just going at each other. CM Punk gets the advantage. He starts stomping a hole in Seth Rollins into the corner, and he turns around, and Paul Heyman's sitting there, and Paul Heyman just starts yelling at CM Punk. He's like, you screwed me. You were the one that screwed me. Why are you mad at me? And Punk starts to lay his hands on Paul Heyman when obviously Seth Rollins doesn't allow it. He sicks on him, and he stomps CM Punk, and we start to have the celebration kind of Paul Heyman, right? And he gets the mic, and he says, we are concluding Mania weekend by propelling this news into Mania 42. He says there is a new number one top star in the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth freaking Rollins. When Roman Reigns music hits, we were all like, is he going to show up? When's the next time he going to be here? It's tonight. Roman Reigns comes out here and he immediately spears Seth Rollins right away. And he doesn't take a second to take in time with Paul. He turns around, he sees Paul. Nope. Superman punches Paul Heyman in the face, goes to the corner. He's setting up the spear, all the good stuff that we know and love. And he goes to run at Paul Heyman for the spear win. Braun Breaker spears the block off Roman Reigns. And then he spears him again. And then Seth Rollins throws Roman Reigns to the outside and sends Braun Breaker out there, and he does the run around the ring spear, and he spears Roman Reigns through the barricade, and Paul Heyman's laughing, Seth Rollins is laughing, and Braun Breaker picks up Roman, puts him in the ring, and now he has set up Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on a platter for Seth freaking Rollins to stomp them both. And he stomps both of them. And we end Raw with the 3 new people of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I don't know what you call him.
I have no idea what you call him. Raw has a twist. Braun Breaker is now also a Paul Heyman guy, along with Seth freaking Rollins. This is exactly what I wanted to see, man. Braun Breaker catapulted to the main event scene in WWE. Much deserved. Can't wait to see this.
Yeah, you take a look at this and it's like, okay, well, we figured Braun loses the title. Let's elevate him to the main event scene. You're like, who does he go after? Does he go after Jey? Well, maybe not. Let's not do that. I didn't expect this. I know, obviously, Paul has worked backstage with Braun a lot. They also go to the same spray tan place. But so you look at it, Braun is the next big thing. I mean, for lack of a better term. And Rollins is like that truth-telling heel that people are like, Rollins is badass. Paul Heyman's badass. We'll put a badass dog with him too. And this is great. This is fantastic. This is exactly what you need. And then they pose together and you're like, yeah, I'm sold. This is how you end the Raw after Mania. I'm all in. Shoot Braun Breaker to the moon. Have him go against both these guys. I mean, this was just phenomenal stuff.
When everybody was theorizing that Paul Heyman was going to join Seth Rollins, one of my critiques was like, well, Seth Rollins doesn't really need him. What would be the purpose? This is the purpose. Now you have Paul Heyman actually doing the mentoring to somebody. We have a new Paul Heyman guy, and it's not actually Seth Rollins. Yes, he's the leader of this new faction that they're building, but the Paul Heyman guy now is Braun Breaker. That's going to be the future of this faction that's happening right here, and it is going to be fantastic. We wanted him to lose the IC title match for this reason, to propel him into the main event scene. We're here. They didn't skip a beat. They didn't wait a second, and I am 100% ready for it. He took out Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Well, dude, you've done it. Let's get to it. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, what bigger seal of approval?
Yeah.
Right, or dog of approval, I guess you could say. You're right in there with CM Punk. You're right in there with Roman Reigns. You're with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. They just main evented night 1 at WrestleMania. Match of the weekend. We'll put you in there, kid. Yeah, and the confidence everybody has. He's like, yeah, this kid's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we're all just like, yes, that works.
Mm-hmm.
That works. Mm-hmm. Absolutely great. I thought this Raw After Mania was a Raw After Mania. This felt great. A couple call-ups and good stuff. We did have that drag of a Gunther segment. That was a little bit of a hiccup for me personally, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes down the line here. Anyway, though, please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Come to our live stream on YouTube, youtube.com/@CODWrestlePod, because we just had the best live stream weekend of our life because of all of you for Raw, SmackDown, and WrestleMania. It was great. And for everything else, at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts, we have that link tree. It's got everything in there. Follow all the socials. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.